Hey leaders, I am back on today to give you another mind hack that is really going to help your team explode, even if you start using it today over the next 30, 60, 90 days. Are you ready for my mind hack number 2? I was on yesterday to teach you a little bit about how the word try can actually be holding people back, right? And we replace the word try with test. We want our teams to be using words like test. I'm going to test that. That first one didn't get very much engagement. It only got 5 people. Tomorrow, I'm going to test this and see what the data is, right? So in business, we want to be making decisions based on data. And it starts with the words we use, how we think, and what we say about the actions we're taking. So I'm Dawn Sullivan. If you don't already follow me, I am a network marketer using social media to grow my particular business. I'm also a Mind Model Method certified business coach, helping leaders on network marketing teams to use the language and strategies to most effectively help their downline become resourceful. Does that sound good to you? If you're sick of having your downline turn around and come to you with every question that they have when you know that they could look it up somewhere else, then this is probably the Mind Hack series for you. So let's talk about good, bad, effective, ineffective, and taking imperfect action. Okay, that's the topic for today. So how often do you hear people in your downline or even crossline and upline say something like, oh, that was bad, or that wasn't good enough, or even, oh, that was good, I felt good about that? Well, again, we don't want to be making our decisions based on our feelings, right? Because we actually need data, right? If we're trying to make money, 6-7 figures, we need to base our actions on data. So sometimes I call them metrics, right? So a metric, for example, would be how many people sent me a private message after I wrote a launch post with a call to action saying, connect with me, things like that. So we look at the data instead of using words like good or bad and judging what the action was that we took, right? So we're going to say that was less effective than this, right? And we base it on what the data is telling us. If I have a lot of people on a Facebook Live with me, like I can see now I have 4 people, Nicole, Austin, thanks for joining me today. If I have a lot of people on, then my data is that people are interested in what I'm saying, right? So I want to make sure that I'm basing my next action on the data from my previous action, right? So maybe I think I said this yesterday, maybe I go live at a different time of day. Maybe I put a question in the heading instead of a statement before I go live. What am I going to do to stop the scroll, right? So I'm basing my decisions on what the data is telling me versus how good or bad I felt about it. And here's the trick. When you're a leader of a team and you've got new people coming on, you want to make sure you're using this language too. So if somebody comes to me and says, oh, I didn't feel good about that, you as a leader want to turn around and say, what was effective about what you did, right? And you want to get people looking at a way to evaluate their actions. So somebody who's newer might say, oh, what was effective about what I did? Well, I guess what was effective is that I took action at all, right? So yeah, that's absolutely effective. It's always effective when you take action because action is something you can actually evaluate. You can't evaluate the thought in your head, right? There's no way to evaluate if that's going to help you succeed, drive your business forward, or not drive your business forward, keep you stuck, right? So if you've ever felt stuck, chances are you're sitting with lots of good ideas in your head and you're not evaluating them because you're not taking action. So I like to remind my team when I do hear words like good or bad, well, what was effective about what you did? What was ineffective, or what could have been done differently? And I like to use the word might. What might you do differently, right? And then follow up with that question, well, how might that be more effective, right? When might you do that, right? So then we're asking for a commitment. We're actually walking through the process with our teammate, downline, upline, it doesn't matter. because we want to help them take imperfect action. And if they're sitting in emotion, I was talking about this yesterday too, if they're sitting in emotion back in the limbic system of their brain and they're in this fight or flight, anxious stage where they're not taking action, we want to help them get from that part of their brain to the frontal lobe, where's the more of a reasoning, problem-solving part of the brain, right? So if we ask questions, they automatically go from this limbic system to the part of the brain to the frontal lobe where they're in problem-solving mode, becoming resourceful, and they actually get curious and are more likely to take imperfect action because now they know the only way to drive their business forward and to be effective is to take action. We can't be effective. It doesn't even matter if it's a wonderful idea, if it stays in our head, right? We have to find a way to implement that idea. So here's a saying that I like to pull out from time to time. Fail fast, falling forward. We know that taking imperfect action is the only way to progress, right? So sitting, sitting it on your own, sitting with an idea, not presenting it on social media, not presenting it to the world in some other way, is just going to keep you stuck and stay in that fight or flight emotional state. I want to help you get into a problem-solving, resourceful state where you actually can say, wow, that was really effective, not wow, that was really good. Right? Because we can't duplicate good, but we can duplicate effective or ineffective, right? Or we can say that was ineffective because my microphone didn't work, or I went live at the wrong time of day, or it was ineffective because I didn't have my bullet points written down and I went on a tangent, right? So there's lots of things that could make it ineffective. Doesn't matter. We want to take the action, evaluate what worked, what didn't work, where am I stuck, what am I going to do differently next time? And we want to keep us in that resourceful problem-solving state because success loves speed. Would you guys agree? Like the quicker you're succeeding, the more you're in momentum, the more success you'll have. So taking action day after day after day, even if it feels uncomfortable, even if you're not exactly sure what you're doing, it doesn't matter because we're going to take the action, we're going to evaluate it. Was it effective or ineffective? What are we going to do differently next time? If you can stay with those mind hacks more often than not, your business has no other choice but to keep moving forward. It's when you get into the emotional, judgmental part of your brain and part of your energy, right? When we start judging ourselves, that is when we are stuck. And if you're not driving your business forward in network marketing, you're driving it backward. So I'm going to wrap it up for today. I want to keep this short and effective. What action, drop down in the comments below, what action are you taking that is imperfect today that you're going to be able to evaluate later on and make some tweaks to make it even more effective the next time? I'd love to hear what you guys are up to. Drop it down in the comments. I will be back again tomorrow with another mind hack for leaders in the network marketing business. Have a great day.